Hey guys, so here's an LED video for you. I've been trying different LED bulbs, largely from Amazon, some from Walmart, some from Menards, some from the Habitat store and whatnot. And as you've seen, I've had different LED, nightlight bulbs and various different accent lights around my house, particularly my antique torchire? How come I don't know how to pronounce it all of a sudden? Lamps. And also in nightlights, Down here, I think the only lamp that has one is that little stained glass lamp over there. That's got one in it. It's got this one in it. We'll get to that in a second. And then we go in here in the laundry room, and all these nightlights have LED nightlight bulbs in them too, which is this kind here with a little crinkle pattern. So I got a different type today, so I thought we would compare them because I couldn't initially see the difference. So what we have here is a regular 7-watt nightlight bulb. The dimmest ones that I got from Amazon, I can't remember how much current they draw. It's something like 1/4 of a watt. These 0.8 watt ones from Amazon. And then this is the same as the 0.8 one, but this is the kinds again today that are 2 watts. So these are both supposed to be equivalent to a 7-watt nightlight bulb. These seem dimmer to me than a 7-watt nightlight bulb. These seem brighter to me than a 7-watt nightlight bulb. And then these are supposed to be equivalent to a 15-watt nightlight bulb. And none of them are supposed to be dimmable, but I have found that these at least dim very well with the X10, so I've got them on an X10 here. I did try and dim them in the learning remote, which is in this fan here, and they did not dim in the learning remote. So we're not to be worried about that. But they did do well in the X10. So this is the X10 controller from the living room. I just brought it down here just for sample. So all lights on. And I have the room lights on so you can see. So it's kind of hard to tell the difference in the video. You can definitely tell that this is the brightest. It's still very hard for me to tell the difference in those two. It's a little bit more noticeable on camera than it is off camera. The camera honestly doesn't do a very good job of showing this. Tell you what, these are, by the way, these are a candelabra to medium converter and then a socket extender, all from Amazon. So let's disconnect. A little easier to tell, like hard to say. So this is just a 7-watt nightlight. Okay. Let me see if turning those track lights off helps, because you can see the shadow that the track lights are casting. Let's see if we do better without them. I don't think so, because now it's very dark. Interestingly enough, this is definitely casting more of a shadow around itself. So I guess you can use that as an indicator to which ones are the brightest. Here, I'm going to turn these lights up too. See if that helps. And instead of turning the track lights on, I'll just turn the lights on in these other rooms. Just have more background light that's not direct light. And for now, I'll put this back in here. That's one of those Philips LEDs. Okay. So again, none of these are supposed to be dimmable except for the incandescent. But here, let's try dimming. So all the way at the dimmest setting, this one still glows. In fact, doesn't even make a difference if the other bulbs are in the circuit. Let's just see what happens if we brighten it. All units off and it's still lighting. That's not surprising though, because there's the LED still puts in some current. These do the same thing if I take that one out of the circuit. Interesting that this one absorbs all the light from those. So once again, so these, despite not being dimmable, actually dim pretty well, I think. So let's just go up one at a time. So this is legitimately not dimmable. Obviously the incandescent is the most dimmable of them all. It can dim all the way down to nothing. I'm just curious, if we take all these other lights out of the equation, how does the incandescent perform on the X10 by itself? Same. That's in. So the other thing I'm learning is I have some issue upstairs with when I turn these off, these still glow. If I take the incandescent out but have one of these, those will not glow. So, and these not being very bright, so all I would have to do is like one of those lamps with the night light in the base. If I put this in the base, then the top of the lamp won't glow. So that's something to think about. So, I do notice a difference between these two, but this is definitely not twice as bright. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is what would be the reason you would order one of these over the other. That's what I'm trying to figure out. The rest of this is obvious. Okay, so we're trying to do away with these because they will burn out quicker and use more electricity, even though, I mean, a 7-watt nightlight bulb is not very much, but even so, 7 watts compared to a quarter of a watt or whatever that uses. So if you legitimately just want a nightlight, you don't want it to be dimmable, this is great. You know, I've got these in, I think, 7 nightlights, 3 in the laundry room, 4 in the kitchen, and I couldn't be happier. These are definitely brighter, so if something were an accent light, you know, I do like these in the bases of the torch-ear lamps in there, and even the torch-ear lamps, and, you know, I mean, I like having both on hand, the dimmer and the brighter, because it gives me options, but, again, there's very little difference, you know, so if you were just to order one, I don't know. It makes a difference. I've definitely never had one of these fail, and I've had one of these fail. Here, I'll show you. This is a 2-watt version. That ain't right. So. Okay, last thing I'm going to try in this video, come on, cooperate, is let's put it in here, because I had one of these in here before, but I had the lower watt version, and I did not have it on a extender, and I'm thinking the extender might be a good idea, because it'll put the light closer to the That looks pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Let's see how it dims. Nope. Ah. So now it's behaving like the one in here. So interestingly enough, they will dim on the X10 dimmer, but you use them on this dimmer, and I think they fail. Yep. So if I were to use one in here, but here's the thing, I've used one of these in there before. So let's try this again, because what's the harm? Worst case scenario, it fails. I put one of these in here before, and it dims beautifully. See? It's not, I mean, it's not a smooth dimming by any chance, but it's not failing. So it's interesting, it'll work fine on the X10, but not down here. Well, I guess I gotta order some more of these. Luckily they don't. There's the... Interesting. I'm gonna leave those on for a bit. Just see. Yeah, whatever circuitry is in here, well, not in here, it's in the learning remote, which is actually behind those tubs, causes those to fail. So, which is a new experience for me. I've never had an LED bulb fail on a dimmer before. Normally they either work or they don't work. So, okay. Well, we've learned a lot today. Thanks for watching.